Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to On Loose Lines. Don't need that by the looks. Sorry, back for another week. Got a little bit going on. As always, I've got to give myself a little bit more of a breather at the start. It gets a little bit tricky, so I'm just trying to get the Facebook page to refresh so we can get people to get involved. Anyone watching the show knows how it works. If you're new to the show, basically get involved. We encourage people to get involved in the show via the comments and via the either writing in. If you know me, you can send me a text. I won't be putting the text messages out there at all, but the show is about having a bit of fun, talking harness racing, getting people involved in the show. That's what it's all about, and that's what I enjoy the most about the show is I suppose trying to get the word out there for participants and people involved. So if you've got a story I don't know about, please get involved and help me out that way. I will be gladly appreciative of that. Big show. Got Mark Hughes, going to ring him in 2 seconds. Got Timmy Ralph from Bendigo Harness Racing Club coming on. Pretty exciting news coming out of New Zealand too. If any of the Kiwis are on and watching, it'd be pretty cool if someone there might be able to give me a call or send me a message. I might be able to get in touch with them about some pretty amazing updates, if you like. I reckon it's cool there for first win bonuses for New Zealanders. $12,000, $8,000 goes to the owners and $4,000 to the breeder, which is going to be super, super exciting. And Brad Steele, hello to you. It's just a great another initiative, and that's what's coming through with the guys at Entain and doing the same thing. So hopefully Hughesy answers. Tyler Jude, good news to you, that's for sure. Mark Hughes, hello mate.
Polly, how are you, Cobber?
Very, very well. I was just reading just then, I was just saying to the people as I started on, I've only just come across it. I don't know when it was actually released, but big news in New Zealand. The new bonus scheme will see payments of $12,000 for any 2-year-old trotter or pacer winning his or her first race in a 2-year-old only race. $8,000 going to the winning owner, $4,000 to the breeder. Hughesy, this could be, that's massive. When you start putting that alongside service fees, that is massive, a massive bonus going back to the breeders, I think, anyway.
Yeah, look, exciting news this afternoon across the ditch from Entain, who have obviously taken over the TAB in New Zealand and have fallen behind the 2-year-old racing like they said they would be. It was one of their pledges when they come on board in the Shaky Isles. And, mate, here's your first up result for a 2-year-old next year. So, 8,000, and 4,000 to the breeder. What a stunning outcome. And I know the Kiwis have decided to make a note of, having a lot more racing from January, from one end of the island to the other.
Yeah.
Outstanding outcome for everybody involved in harness racing in New Zealand, and well done to Entain.
I've actually got it up there. You're still talking on the phone, but that's okay. We got it sitting there. But basically, you can see down the bottom there of what Mark Hughes is saying. To ensure owners and breeders have the best chance to get a quick return, Entain and HRNZ have decided to front load the schedule with more 2-year-old races through the first half of the season, and races will be held throughout the country from Auckland through to Invercargill. We had Tyler Dew on there. Of course, he's down in Invercargill. I mean, it's terrific news. They're going from 82 where did I say 139 of those. They're going to have a look at it in January. Minimum of 5 runners to consist of a start, but you look at the 2-year-olds stepping out now in New Zealand, and we're going to touch on a couple of those in a minute. That's super exciting. It's great for the industry. It's great for the industry on both sides, because I think a lot of people will be looking at New Zealand here in Australia as well, because it's pretty impressive figures, I think, anyway.
Look, that's a stunning outcome in a time of, a lot of challenges on both sides of the ditch for our industry. And look, that's a fill-up for horses that have been bought at yearling sales this year and weanling sales in both islands. And that's going to certainly encourage a number of, we've got Australian breeders breeding in New Zealand to our stallions this year. So I would say to you, there's probably going to be there'll be a few more Aussies on board breeding in New Zealand this year, purely because of these sort of outcomes, not necessarily next year, but in 2025, 2026, 2027 and onwards. this is stunning for the industry in New Zealand.
Cambrai quite often, because West Australia buy a lot of horses from New Zealand, and I know you know that. You guys have had some good results just recently from there. They buy a lot of weanlings as well, and they leave them there with the breakers. There's probably every chance that Bondi and those sort of people will be leaving them there to race as 2-year-olds, try and get a little bit of a fill up as far as money goes. If they're good enough, leave them there for some of the better 2-year-old races, because I'd say this is just the start of it. And we could see horses going that way more so than our way, mate, which is super exciting.
There could be some horses, heading from this part of the world over there. But more importantly, I guess there'll be probably some more horses staying in New Zealand, as you pointed out, for a little bit longer than they necessarily are. But Aussies might obviously buy them over there and leave them there to race. Why wouldn't you?
Yep. NZB, I'm sure. I'll wear one of those hats. I can't see it at the minute. I've got it down there. I did ring Cam just prior. I've only literally just seen this pop up, so I don't know how long ago it was announced, but he wasn't across it that much. Cam wasn't, but he said he's just seen the email today. So if there is someone from New Zealand, I don't know if Emily Morgan's watching or not. I wouldn't mind if I could get someone just to have a chat about it over there, but that may not happen at short notice. Brad Steele says there, might make buying 2-year-old Kiwis even more expensive for the Aussies. There'd be no might, I reckon, about this, Brad. I reckon, especially the breeders, Hughesy, when you think about this, that $4,000 going back to the breeders will be encouraging these horses to stay in New Zealand as well.
Well, they will be, because there'll be an outcome for there as well. And $4,000 back into a breeder's pocket is
massive.
That's good money. That's massive. That's that's a down payment on a very, very nice stay-in for the following year.
Yep, no, absolutely. While I've got Jeffrey Dixon just tuned in, and yourself, Hughesy, I just thought I'll put this little logo up. Just you probably can't see it. You can't see it, but that's okay. I'm sure you'll get a fair understanding when you watch it later on what I might have just done. But I just got to have a little bit of fun with the blue baggers, that's for sure. So might be our last week. I think it's a fair chance it'll be our last week. But been a bit of fun beating anyone wondering. Mark Hughes is a one-eyed Melbourne man. So is Jeffrey Dixon. There's a few of us out there. So it's been a little bit of fun. Fair to say, you were coming from me everywhere, and I might have won myself a dozen oysters natural when we're probably back over for the weanling sales. Andre Portimer is on. Andre's been driving some winners. He was good enough to do a few sulky drives for me as well. So hello to you, Andre. Great to see you on the show, and look forward to getting back to New Zealand. New Zealand Cup Day will be the first time, but be back a fair bit after that. So really looking forward to it. Hughesy, big news. Obviously I'm sponsored by Woodlands, proudly, have been since the inception of Campbell's Comments, effectively. Between us, actually quite ironic, I've got Barristocks hat on, and a pair of yous have been my earliest sponsors and never wavered, and stuck fat, and I really appreciate the support that I get consistently from you. What a week it's been for Woodlands Stud, with some amazing results right across the board. We'll start at the top. Sweet Lou and Confederate. The job he's done since joining Brett Pelling's stable has just been outstanding, isn't it?
Yeah, look, and before we go on to Sweet Lou, congratulations to the Carlton Footy Club copper. I'll take that on the chin. Well done there, mate. So thoroughly deserved. Now, look, there'll be another. There's a drive-by for Cambrai coming too. Just wait. Can you let me know when he tunes in? That'd be good.
I will indeed. I've got a nice little photo ready for him too, so don't worry. Yeah. I'm lined up as well.
All right, so look, getting back to business, Sweet Lou's last 6, 12, 18 months has been quite phenomenal. Australia and New Zealand, and obviously his deeds in North America this season have been quite stunning.
Cambrai is on right now, Mark. Sorry to interrupt you, but Cambrai is actually watching, good. So yes.
Okay, all right, very good. I'll save that up. We we love a drive-by. Look, as I say, quite stunning. Confederate, Cannibal. It's my show. He's got a top 2-year-old filly in Geocentric as well. So the staggering thing for Lou this season in particular is that he's now second on the all-age sires in North America this season. 5 million behind Bettor's Delight. But second, went past American Ideal this week. But the stunning figure for us is like he's made $1 million more than Captain Treacherous this season in North America. And year on year, Lou just keeps getting better. And year on year, he just keeps getting better down here. Never ending might possibly be the best 3-year-old in Australia. Others may beg to differ. Got a serious brace of very good horses in New Zealand. He's just leading them anywhere and everywhere. There hasn't, him and Treacherous have changed things up dramatically in the last 18 months in this part of the world, but and obviously in the Northern Hemisphere.
And it flies under the radar a little bit because he is a fully booked stallion, so we don't tend to promote him that well. But I actually rang you and said, look, we've got to do something to make sure people are aware of what he's doing. Christopher Dance, I highlighted it in the New Zealand show. Go back and watch the replay. Get onto the Harness Racing HRNZ site. Watch Christopher Dance's race. Actually, poor old Andre Portman, he actually skittled him. He galloped going into the first turn on Frisco Bay, one of Ray Green's horses. Check this horse. He wins almost untouched for Logan Hollis and Shane Robinson. Just done an amazing job. He then gets a winner with Hugo Tastic a little bit later on for Zaki Butcher as well. There was another one, I think, on this meeting. It is ridiculous. I know he's got Coney Island Blue in Addington, was a good winner. Yeah, that's it there. Mantra Blue, 2 from 2. And looks a serious filly, beating Kahlua Flyby, a Woodlands bred horse, owned and bred horse. Actually, they were the Sweet Lou, Better's Delight, and Sweet Lou. Martin Pearson with Penny Black. Martin's having a huge run with his breed. He just keeps getting winners everywhere, and I think we sort of take it a little bit for granted because of stallion limits here in Australia, that you guys don't promote him because you can't, because he's fully booked. Spirit of St. Louis the other day, he just continually does the job. There was one yesterday at the Breeders' Crown as well, Breeders' Challenge, in New South Wales. He's just amazing what he does.
Yeah, look, day on day, it's doubles, trebles, winners, winner of Yarra Valley today. I see Brad Steele's on board again tonight, like his filly won at Albion Park yesterday. Jackie Gibson's a great filly, won that little race yesterday, and an absolute peach of a drive from Luke McCarthy. Hall's produced a 2-year-old by Sweet Lou last night at Gloucester Park. It looks like a Derby horse. There's just been no shortage of them. It's easy to sit back and, we know that his book's closed this year. Next year, probably, it'll be well and be well and truly closed. We just got to promote what a great sire he is. He was maligned from the start. A lot of people had, a serious crack at us about taking on a sire like him. Sires, we've played the long game, and that's the only way you can do it with a sire. You've got to play the long game. We don't chop and change. We stick fat, and the reality is we've got a sire now that will breed in excess of 300 mares down under this season. And you talk about the limited book. I just did a little look today. We've had 6 collects in Australia for Sweet Lou from New Zealand. He's bred 23 mares already, mate. He's done 1/6 of his book. In the first 6 collects of the season so far. So look, he's a game-changing stallion. We're proud that we took the risk to get him down, and we're proud that the people that followed us from the start. And there's been a lot of people been on him year on year. Cody, Kevin Charles, Barry Rattray, the Callies at Wagga. They've been into him from the start, mate. So we're proud of the people that were, have followed us in year on year.
Yep, and they, as you say, they have stuck fat. We're going to talk about American Ideal. I just was looking at Gloucester Park, there, Hughesy, and unfortunately, but my hard copy, of course, who is by American Ideal, but he's doing an amazing job as a sire. He's ill-fated because unfortunately he passed away late last year, I think. So I don't think they would have served any this year. He's only had a handful, but geez, he's done an amazing job, especially there in Perth, hasn't he?
No, look, he was ironically a weanling purchase of ours way back when.
$4,000 pinhook.
Pinhook at a weanling sale, made over $1 million. One of the very few horses to defeat Lazarus. 2 WA Pacing Cups. Has done a great job as a sire. Won the opening 2-year-old there on, I think it was last night he won the 2-year-old at Gloucester Park. But, More importantly, he's qualified some of his sons into some of those better races in Perth. So been a bit of a chip off the old block, and as you say, just a travesty that he had to, left us too early. And then again, like his father, won the Group 1 race in Perth on Friday night with Jim Curry and his exciting 2-year-old, their exceptional armour. What a great result that was in the $215,000 race for American Ideal. So this is his first crop that he stood in Australia when we bought him to stand here, and fittingly he's had Group 1 winners, and he's had 15 individual 2-year-old winners already in Australia. So the change for him has been, great.
Probably, the one thing about him is he is leaving sires. If there is a knock on, if there's a knock on betters, that's the only one they can knock on. He can leave mares and everything like that, but he doesn't, he doesn't leave stay-ins as such. Although, horses like Better Than Cheddar have done a pretty good job. I think everyone's waiting for a stay-in to be as good as Better's Delight, but that's the one thing with American Ideal. He can leave everything. 2-year-olds to high-class horses, race horses, tough race horses like Soho Tribeca, and then now these horses that people are getting excited about standing at stud. He's just done an enormous job, American Ideal, for racing here. The mares that have done the job as well, they just continue. He just continues. He's going to leave a massive legacy in harness racing in Australia, especially over the next few years.
Yeah, look, American Ideal's legacy is complete. New Zealand Cup winners, Fremantle Cup winners, Hunter Cup winner and Bling It On. I'd say from the outside looking, he probably has 3 runners in the New Zealand Cup this year. He's left Oaks winners, he's left Derby winners. Year on year, he just gets it done. He's a great broodmare sire. His legacy is complete. And you have a look at, there's a son of his, like, he's watching's done a pretty solid job at stud from what I'd say moderate opportunities, and the horse was shopped round. So if someone had had the tenacity to play the long game with a stay-in like him, he might have had a lot more luck down here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Luna Lodge Harness Racing. Good evening, everyone. Just blown in. I'm back. Very good. Not 100% sure who you are, but good to have you on the show. That is for sure. And like as I said, you mentioned horses like Soho Tribeca and that. There is a horse going for his 3rd New Zealand Cup in a month and a half's time called Copy That. A little bit of a much maligned horse again, but he's just a superstar. Actually, I'll get it up now. I don't know how much money he has actually won, but he's a superstar.
He's won over 2 million.
Yeah, just ticked over 2 million. So
I wouldn't have a much maligned horse in my barn that's won 2 million.
No,
so, yeah.
but isn't that the Dot G? Hello to you, Dottie. Great to have you on. She has a couple of the What the Hills and Jared Maloney as well. So what was I going to say then? But that's he's sort of the whole American Ideal sort of part, isn't it? People seem to, when they put in a bad run, they want to put the boots in. I don't get it, but he just does a great job, and he looks immaculate. I'm looking forward to having a colt. Marie's looking forward to a filly, but we're looking forward to having a colt in about another 4 weeks. So I'm really excited about him. So yeah.
Yeah, no, he's been a long time favourite of mine, as you know, and. He has been a rock star. There's no doubt about that. 200 million plus on his card. Not many stands are going to retire when he hangs up his shingle with that, on their card.
Nah, absolutely. And the one thing I will say, Hughesy, and I tell people, this, Kath McIntosh and I, we did the announcement when they came, and because she did the King of the North, we did the talk there, and King of the North's in the paddock next door to American Ideal. And he was pinging the electric fence. He's like, you guys aren't talking about me. And the strand stands out about 30 centimetres off the fence. And he's just standing there kicking at it as if to say, you guys aren't commenting on me. Like, he's got so much character. He's such a dude of a horse to be around. He really is. Yeah,
and I think, that's his fifth season there. And he's part of the furniture now. And Kath tells me she's going to name that shed after him, So that barn. American Ideal barn, so that'll be good.
I'm pretty sure you said she was gonna name it after it.
Oh yeah, no, I've ratified that this week with her, so that's all go. The American Ideal barn, we'll go 50-50 in it,
I was filming in front of a live audience, usually for a second, but that's sort of changed. That's okay. They left. There was a couple of people here. Hughes, well, we can talk on the rest of the other two boys anyway, the two pacing boys at the minute, because there's been some pretty amazing developments. Brad Steele did chime in there before about Lather Up and the job that he is doing. Sorry, Matty Cooper, Sunbeach Somewhere, the sire of Captain Treacherous, Huntsville Stay Hungry, has changed standardbred breeds for the best, and go the Blue Baggers. That's from Matty Cooper. Yep, that's fine. Lather Up, and I've got to find it. Hang on, give me 1 sec. I just got to find what. How good is Lather Up going as a sire? The job he's doing in North America so far is just outstanding, and some terrific sales results as well. Just the other day, wasn't there?
Yeah, look, so his 2-year-old season in the States has been quite amazing in Ohio. He's made over 800,000 now. He's got one $200,000 earner, a couple of $100,000 earners. He's got a beautiful filly in Rose Run Zoe, who cut the ribbons there early in the week at Delaware and Jug Week. Went 52 and broke the filly's record for that sex. Yep. Just got a really consistent brand and a really consistent start to being a sire up there. And once again, a little bit left field the way he's bred. He is a grandson of Better's Delight, but out of a stallion called I'm Gorgeous and the old in the pocket delineation on the maternal side. And, you know, we couldn't ask for a much better start than the start he's made in Ohio. He's there with Seaside. He's there with Fear the Dragon. So a very, very positive start for him. And I think he's 10th on the 2-year-old size list in North America, second to Better's Wish at the moment. Look, a great start and great results at the Ohio jug sale last Friday their time. 8 lots through for an average of around 34,000. So, you know, close to 7 times his service fee. So great result for breeders in Ohio at a sale that was up, I believe, 11%.
Yeah, well, I'll put it back up now, the banner. I've actually got it, and that's where I was trying to just sort of cover off across the whole lot. So what the hell, we'll come back to him in a second because he's there. But this is just an extract out of Standardbred Canada's website. Looking at the numbers more closely, the highest average pacing size for the third year in a row was dominated by Down by the Seaside at 50,000, just under 51,000 for 31 lots sold. That's the average. First crop sire, Catch the Fire, was second at 35,909 for 22 lots sold, and Lather Up with 34,000 neat for 8 lots sold. This was at the sale. Catch the Fire is the anomaly because the people who own Catch the Fire purchased the highest price yearling at $220,000. So effectively, if you took that horse out, and you know, I don't mean to do that, but if you actually took him out, it would be Seaside and then Lather Up. You would be your top 2 sires there at that sale, on sale averages.
Yeah, no, look, it was a great day for both our boys, and a positive start for Catch the Fire. He stands alongside Lather Up and Down by the Seaside at Sugar Valley. But an even greater day for What the Hill, mate. Like 34 lots through the sale and he averaged 31 grand. Crikey. That's
38. 38.
Sorry, 38 through the sale for 31,000. That's a phenomenal statistic at a yearling sale for any horse.
Yep, no, absolutely. And the bottom of that tile there just says there, the overall, the gross sale totaled 8.2 million, 270 yearlings sold, resulting in the average of 30,766. So all these horses we've highlighted are above that average. The average price marked a 9.4% increase from last year's sale. Premier, I hate this word, Ohio yearling auction. The median was 25,000. Anyone not sure? I can't say the word. I get it backwards all the time. A 4-letter word. Ohio. I do a bad job of it. But that is, Emily Munro is actually watching now. That is actually really impressive figures for that sale. It's good all round, actually, because good confidence in North America is always filters down to Australia. But then the sale results on some of those horses.
Yeah. Look, positive outcome for that state who just go from strength to strength each year. And for all those who love a harness racing fill-up, the next 48 hours up there is quite phenomenal. We've got Jughead Day up there tomorrow at Delaware, 22 races. And the Little Brown Jug on Thursday, their time, Friday, our time. 24 races, so 46 harness races back to back in Delaware in the coming days. So yeah, just a real fill up. Harness racing fans' dream.
If you want to watch these, now I stumbled across this by mistake, but it is a brilliant site. So there's 3 sites on there. If you love your harness racing, scribble those down or come back and take them down. But you want to go to Ohio Harness, and then it's Horsemen's Association. So that's a YouTube channel. Get on your YouTube channels and get it from there. So Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, and you can watch them all live. I watched them live the other day, and you can watch them live. You can watch them on replay. So if you miss them, you get up late or whatever, you can go back and watch them on replay. It's the best way to get the full coverage of what they've got over there in North America. And then Flamborough Downs and Rideau Carleton, they were 2 others that I found just at the same time. So they don't have the high-end racing at the minute. They're both in Canada, but they're not far off. Must say Canada too, the Mohawk Millions is coming up, I think it's Sunday. So Saturday their time, Sunday our time, I think is how it works too. So it's a something to look forward to too over there. But yeah, definitely get onto that Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, and you'll be able to watch it all live. And you found yourself watching a fair bit of it too, haven't you, Hughesy?
Yeah. Look, we've tuned in the last couple of days. Obviously, there's a slate of races for Leather Up and What the Hill and Seaside up there, and that continues tomorrow. The Jugette, I reckon the heats from an Australian point of view, probably somewhere between 9 and 11 o'clock tomorrow, maybe, the heats in the final. And the same will apply to the Jug on Friday. So
good time.
And that's live. Between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. our time, thereabouts. Yep. Tomorrow, Seaside and American Ideal have got a brace. And the fillies there tomorrow, and the Woodlands Seaside. Lou's got a lot in the Jug on Friday. So,
no, it's going to be really enthralling racing. Hello to Ernie on YouTube. .G, just love What the Hill. His babies are great to work with, calm, relaxed, professional, looking forward to the future. He's got quite a few hitting the track, especially in New Zealand this coming week, Hughesy as well, What the Hill has.
Yeah, there's a couple of nice little features there. One of that tomorrow night from memory. And there's a lot of horses starting to bounce back around at the trials over there as we sort of emerge out of winter and into spring, and a lot of the better racing on the horizon. And yeah, I'm going to breed them out of What the Hill this season. So with a couple of well-known identities in the industry. So Scott Robinson and Gary Crocker. So I can, that actually might end up in tears. So yeah, that'll be an interesting challenge. And
I'll tell you right now, I know who's naming it, Robbo, because he will just get his way. So that'll be.
Robbo and Crocker, I'll just get to referee the whole thing. So yeah.
That race is 10 past 4 tomorrow afternoon, or 11 past 4. The Kiwis, it'll be, they know, 11 past 6, but a couple of horses there. Crackling is one of those. She's got a real good future for Brad Williamson. She's drawn 7, but she steps out in the 3-year-old trotting fillies, $45,000 race going there tomorrow night at Addington. Yeah. Something to look forward to, and there's some great racing in New Zealand, and obviously we're on the cusp of some great stuff here in Victoria. The Derby, which we sponsor, isn't far away, and obviously the Victoria Cup's on the horizon as well. Yep, and there's hopefully a superstar stepping out over here very, very shortly. One thing, Hughesy, you said you were going to give Mr. Bray might be a little drive-by.
Yeah, look, let's just get the elephant out of the room with Cam Bray. What is that underneath his nose?
Well, it's funny how we work in unison. This is what he now looks like, Cam Bray does. Captain Mannering is exactly who he looks like. It is a wicked little thing underneath that hooter, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's very unique, and I'd go so far as to say he actually looks like a 70s porn star, mate. So, yeah.
I think he's happy with it, but he has copped a fair bit of love, especially anyone wanting to watch Over the Ditch. He was involved in Over the Ditch with me this week, and yeah, fair to say words like "oh the tash" and things along those lines. I don't think it's going down as well as what he might have hoped.
Oh, well, okay, mate. He's left himself wide open to a number of drive-bys with that little proposition underneath his nose.
Yeah, and I like how he calls you the bush ranger because of your lovely beard and that going forward as well.
Yep.
Oh, you're not going to believe this. Oh, yes, I have got it here. Hughesy, there's a few stallion tenders on at the minute. Swan Hill Harness
Yep.
Racing. The guys at Swan Hill are racing tonight.
Yep.
I'll bring it up again a bit later on, but of course, with Woodlands, you guys are involved with Lather Up. You get the opportunity to get a service fee at upwards of 70% discounted rate without asking, and also What the Hill. Both of those horses are there in that one. Plus the guys at Dubbo, they made it a little bit tricky for me, but they reached out. With What the Hill is part of their stay-in tender again. I think you were part of that last year. Is that right?
Jared's Swan Hill finishes this Friday, the 22nd,
Yep.
I think. So What the Hill and Lather Up. We're at Horsham with What the Hill as well. The tenders involved there.
Yep.
And Dubbo with Lather Up. So I believe all of those sort of Swan Hill definitely on Friday. I think Horsham not in the not too distant future. And Red Oak may have closed last week from memory.
Yeah, well, that could be right because everything that's been sent to me is actually last year's. So I got a thing sent to me late last week, and I didn't look at it. And I was looking, and I'm like, that is odd, but that is actually the 2022 one, which is what they sent me.
Okay.
But yeah, unfortunately, they've sent me the wrong one. But you think it might have said it's closed last week?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Dubbo finished on the 15th from memory. So
sorry to the guys from Dubbo, but it was a little bit.
Look, maybe it's gone a little bit longer depending on results and where Stallions are at. So get behind Swan Hill. We've just had a successful tender in Perth with Pinjarra, Wasaba as well with Better's Delight. Some great results there from American Ideal and Better's Delight, and both those mares and those tenders have been bred already. So which is really good. We love an early breed, mate, so that's why we start earlier than anybody else.
I'm looking for me. I can't find where it is, but I have got the roster here somewhere, but I actually cannot find it. For the love of me, I've got too many things. Woodlands Planner, I know what that is, and the shipping, and that's all working well, Hughesy?
Breeding season started, September 1 in New Zealand for us, which is terrific. We've already got mares in foal, September 1, like positive tests are already back in. And we started out in New Zealand on the 8th and out of Lower Long on the 11th. So season's well and truly underway. Joel's, back in the mix. Leanne's flying it across and taking it back on behalf of the other farms to New Zealand. And for us already, it's been a positive start. We've bred more than 30 more mares so far this season than last.
Mark O'Hare is a one-eyed Collingwood supporter, and he's not too bad. He might actually own shares in a couple of horses. It might be the end of him too, though. It's quite funny though, Hughesy, because you put the wrong word in, and Facebook won't allow it to be shown. He's gone. I put a Carlton sticker on my broken vacuum. Now it sucks again, and he's got a boom going on. But I'm not going to unhide that. I'm going to leave that one hidden because I can't see a lot of benefit for a Carlton man. So they're not bad, these Collingwood blokes, I can tell you. So they jump out of the woodwork.
She'll be on for young and old if you both suit up at the G Saturday week, mate.
Oh, it'd be huge. I think I'm tipping the AFL would want that. That's for sure. So yeah. Hughesy, thank you. Cannot believe I don't have the stay-in roster. I reckon I've got to have it. I just don't know what I've called it. I have a bad habit of... we'll take a punt. There it is there. Okay, so the 2023-24 stay-in roster. Better's Delight at 25,000 and Australia 27.5. Down by the Seaside at 11. Speeding Spur at 1,000. Sweet Loose 11 here in Australia, 7.5 in New Zealand. What the Hill 7 at both, and then American Ideal and Lather Up both standing at Lower Long Farms in conjunction with Woodlands Stud, 11,000 and 4,500 in New Zealand plus GST, or 4,950 here in Australia with the GST. So make sure you get in touch with the guys. And I should have, there it is there, woodlandstud.co.nz to get in touch with everyone at Woodlands Stud. Hughesy, thank you. Thanks for coming on, mate. As I said, the main reason was what Lou is doing. We sort of let it just fly under the radar a little bit, and people need to be able to sit up and see he's leaving colts, fillies, 2-year-olds. Spirit of St. Louis was just sensational last week. I think he's just doing an awesome job.
Yeah, no, his presence is being felt everywhere, which is great. And just love the fact that going forward there'll be a lot of his daughters in the system down here as broodmare sire, and he'll change things up as well as a broodmare sire. There's no doubt about that.
Yep, and if you want to try and get a horse past the girlfriend or the wife, you really should back a Sweet Lou in, because I tell you, the bling that he leaves, he doesn't leave many without bling, but you've got a good chance of being able to get past, because they do look exceptionally pretty, don't they?
They do. That little blaze, or a nice a pair of socks here and there, certainly adds value with Danny Yelling Sale, and it certainly impressed the Minister for War and Finance for sure.
It does indeed. Michael House is on. He says, "What did I miss?" We happened to bring this one in for you, Michael. So Captain Mannering is front and centre. We might have commented on how bad a mustachio it is. I'm sure if I wound Michael up, he could give me some more mustachio comments. But Cam would be nervous then, I reckon. Don't you, Hughes?
Oh, yeah, Cam would be very, very nervous. I reckon the text messages will be flying between the pair of them as we speak. A lot of it's self-inflicted from Cam's point of view.
Well,
anyway.
Yeah, it is. Cam Bray could be by Sweet Lou. Bang, straight off with that bit of bling underneath the nose. Yep. It's anyway. If you haven't seen, go and watch Over the Ditch. That's where the boys are getting most of their stuff from. He's sporting a new moustache, and it's copped a bit of ribbon, and I think it'll continue to cop a bit of ribbon. So yeah. So
what are the chances it's actually shaved off by the weekend? Someone framing a market, are they?
Well, it'll depend. It'll depend on the sort of what he's like. He hasn't commented back. I haven't got got a text message. I haven't got anything come back at all just yet. So yeah,
I'm sure he's working on something, no doubt.
He'll have something going on behind the scenes. All right, mate. Let you go.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as always, thank you very much to Woodland for their support, mate.
No, it's a pleasure. Take care. Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Mark Hughes joining me there on the line. As I said, Woodlands are doing a huge job, and Sweet Lou is flying under the radar considerably at the minute. Craig Judd, Corey O'Donoghue, Barney Boyington. Hello to all you guys. Cambrai is watching still. No chance of it being shaven off. Rightio. We'll wait and see. Wait and see about that. There could be a flood of people investing in it to get shaved off. Maybe it's something, a fundraiser, Cam, if you're that keen on it going forward. I have got to make a phone call. I've just got to get Timmy's phone number. There it is there. We'll ring Timmy first. I'll fix everything else up here, because I did tell him I would ring him a little while ago.
Mr. Gamble.
Timmy, thank you very much for joining me. We are live, mate, and thank you for joining me. I have actually, just so people are aware, I've got Tim Ralph on the phone with me now from Bendigo Harness Racing Club. Firstly, mate, welcome.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate the call.
We've got a couple of things we need to get through. If you bear with me for 1 second, I'll change a couple of screens up. Bendigo Harness Racing Club and the Stallion Tender we're going to start off with, Timmy. It is still going. It's extended through to the 20... You're going to tell me, is it the 27th?
Yeah, the 27th, the day after Tuesday's meeting. So.
Yep, very, very good. So that's, so next Wednesday. So that'll actually close there. On offer is Pastor Stephen. Now, Father Patrick, one thing I didn't talk to Mark Hughes about just then, but Father Patrick, being a full brother to Pastor Stephen's, just done an enormous job. I think he had 5 winners in New Zealand, a couple of 2-year-olds, the whole box and dice. So he's a full brother to him. I don't know what he stands for. That's very bad of me, Timmy. I don't suppose you happen to know what he stands for.
I think around the 5.
Yeah, 4,950 is what he stands for. So you can get it at 70. Yeah, you're better than me. Don't worry, I was in all sorts of trouble. He's actually eligible for the Lower Long Farms $100,000 bonus. Pay no more. And if he wins the Vic Bred final, you get $100,000 jump in as well. Very quickly, I'll skip over the Aldebaran Park one, because I'll come back to that, Tim. But as well as that, Alabar Farms and Ride High is another of the horses on tender. Of course, he set the track alight, and the fastest time recorded on a Victorian track of 1:49 there at Bendigo a few years back, only a couple of years ago. And he stands also for 4,950, mate.
Certainly does, yeah. So we've got the Aldebaran Park service voucher as well. So it was a great opportunity for potential breeders out there to breed their next champion. Look, be honest, bidding is a bit slow. So make us an offer, and I'm sure between Eric, me, and the club and the providers, we can come up with a pretty good deal to get your next champion out there.
Yeah, Brett Coffey's actually watching, so I'll just come back down to the Ride High one. He just tuned in just there before. The one thing that Brett still holds against me, Tim, was that night. I was one of about 6 people in the crowd, because that was full-blown COVID times when Ride High went 1:49. It was the most eerie, sensational nights to be at a racetrack ever when he lit it up, Keema Frenning and that. And I just know Brett doesn't like it, because Brett may have been a bit cheeky to me last week after last week's show, so maybe rightfully so as well, but I just thought I'd better give him one drive-by back, mate, so then go from there.
Well, Paulie, I'm pretty new to the industry. I mean, been with the club for 4 years, but I've always had a punt and stuff, and understand the horses, but even I could see how quick Ride High was going that night. It was a very special thing to see.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. Yeah, it was. Have you been at the club that long?
4 years in December.
Wow. Sorry, I mean that in a nice way. Timmy White, I'm not sure about Timmy White, Michael House. I don't know where he is, and Brett Coffey is definitely watching, because I got the laughing face. This Aldebaran Park one, I want to make sure people are aware of it. So it's not to either of the stallions, and of course Dancing in the Dark M or Sky Valley. It is $2,000 that you can get at a discounted rate. It's a no-brainer. If you want to breed to one of the stallions, either Dancing in the Dark M or Sky Valley at Aldebaran Park, it's an absolute no-brainer to get involved with. You can get 70%. You could get it for $1,400 potentially. You're saving yourself $600 in this day and age. It seems crazy that it hasn't gone off.
Yeah, they're always a bit slow, and this one's been a bit slower, but generally the last day or so we expect them to sort of flood in. No,
they will indeed. Right now, Tim, I hope I've got that banner up. I said I'd have the... Oh, that's because I'm on a different site. Okay, so just... do you have it on the homepage at all? Yeah, here it is here. Yeah. So this is for the Rochester community. I might actually jump out of it, but I'll let you explain what it's all about, mate. And we want to make sure people are aware of it. This is the 26th of September at Bendigo Harness Racing Club.
Yeah, so our meeting next Tuesday, we've got a great relationship with Agnico Eagle, which is Fosterville Mine, and they've been supporting the Rochester community post the 2022 floods, and they've leveraged that relationship with us and asked us if we'd get on board and assist us in keeping the awareness out of the plight that Rochester, the recovery facts they're still in, and see if we can raise a few dollars. So we jumped on board. Next Tuesday, all the race names are to do with Rochester thinking, local business thinking, different areas, things they've got coming up. There's a big raffle. We're about to launch tomorrow afternoon, an online auction for a V8 supercar signed polo top frame glass, Cam Waters, Tom Randall. So that'll go online on Facebook. You can jump on there and add a bid too. So every bit of the Palmer, selling chicken Palmers and a beer across the bar, all that money's going directly to Rochester Community House. So I understand things are tight at the moment. It's pretty hard to raise money out there. So basically you can come out and have a Palmer and a beer like you normally would, and instead of grabbing extra money out of your pocket to donate, that money we're going to just donate straight to Rochester Community House. So yeah, great initiative. You said the other day you went through Rochester yourself, and you could see with your own eyes where they're still at.
Yeah, absolutely. It's eye-opening. I mean, Brett Coffey, he'd be driving through it a fair bit too. There's still containers outside houses. It is 12 months ago that all this did actually happen, and people are still living. Anyone that knows the area at all, the old Elmore Field days has got caravans, people living there. They're actually living there because they can't return to their houses. Some 12 months later, it is amazing. Back to what you just said there too, Timmy, just before though, the Palmer and the pot, basically, it's synonymous. The amount of people that'll be going to the races, all you have to do, don't think about what you want to have for tea. Just have a chicken Palmer and go and buy a beer. If you don't drink beer, that's fine. Just buy the Palmer. But and just know that you're going. All money's going to a great cause. And you're having a feed. You're having a good feed. So it's a win-win. It's a terrific way of doing it, I think.
Yeah, no, exactly. And look, we're really happy at the club to tie ourselves back into community, and I think it's just a great initiative for all. And there's a good bit of vibe about it. It's a Tuesday grand final week. What a great way to kick off your week! Donate a bit of money and come and see some horses on track. So,
yep.
The noms are still open too. There's three races there that I need a couple of noms in. So there's a mare's race and a 2-year-old trotters and a 3-year-old, I think, as well. So if anybody out there wants to fill those up, it'd be great to get a couple of full fields. So
you're getting good at this. You just put everything out there and it goes through them there.
Mate, if I can't learn after 4 years, I might as well just give it up, eh?
That's exactly right. No, I think well done, mate. Great initiative. Well done to everyone involved. Fosterville Mines, which that is Agnico Eagle, I gather, is Fosterville Mines.
Yep, correct. Yep.
And everyone else that Goldfields Catering, Trevia. Traveller. It is Traveller, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Traveller beer as well. So make sure you get involved with all of that because it is for a very, very good cause, and we want people to be able to. There it is there. I haven't put the bloody banner up. Sorry, mate. But there it is there. So we want everyone to get involved with it and just come to the trots Tuesday night and have a Palmer. I reckon I'll come out and have a Palmer, mate. And
good idea, mate.
It's a good idea. So, thank you very much.
All right, mate. Appreciate the call.
All these Collingwood supporters are everywhere. You Richmond blokes, you've gone quiet for a year, so it's actually not too. It's actually not too bad. So.
That's all right. I'll be quiet for 20 years when you get 3 out of 4. So
you'll be right. Darren Emerson there. He's a shockingly bad Collingwood supporter. So yeah, but anyway, so it's all good. All right, mate. Thank you very much, Tim, and well done to the Bendigo Harness Racing Club and also Agnico Eagle or the Fosterville Mine for getting behind this and getting behind the people. We might not know them, and that it is actually the town that I was born in, so I do know the area pretty well. But yep, it's a small little community that was devastated 12 months ago. So thanks, mate.
Pleasure, mate. Take care.
Timmy Ralph there from the Bendigo Harness Racing Club. Great initiative. As I said, just if you're going to the trots, don't think about what you want to eat. Don't buy a burger or anything else like that. Have a Palmer. And know that 100% of what you're paying will be going to raising money for the Rochester community going forward. So I think it's a very, very good one there. Nigel J. Fahey, hello to you, Nigel. Some massive news. Be interesting to see what the Kiwi guys actually think of that. If you're actually just tuning in, some terrific news just today about the 2-year-olds in New Zealand and a new initiative. So the new initiative is a partnership between Harness Racing New Zealand and Entain is all about encouraging 2-year-old racers and rewarding both breeders and owners. Now the terms and conditions are there. You can go to HRNZ to see this. The new bonus scheme will see payments of $12,000 for any 2-year-old trotter or pacer winning his first race in a 2-year-old only race. So they do race out of their classes there in New Zealand. I should actually just do this and then people can read along at the same time. I'm not actually blocking anything off. The number, and this is the great part, $8,000 going to the owner, so whoever owns the horse at the time will pick up $8,000 and $4,000 will filter back to the breeders. I just had Mark Hughes from Woodlands Stud. They breed a lot of horses. I'm sure they'd be hoping for a lot of winners as 2-year-olds. Brett Coffey's on there, and I'm sure Alabar as well are welcoming this news because it's pretty exciting, and they do a good job there, both those studs, especially with the weanling sales. Quite often they'll sell some horses for not even the stallion's price, let alone the price of the mare. So this is a terrific initiative and will hopefully stimulate more breeding over there. It's right across from the Invercargill to Auckland, Cambridge, all those, everywhere will have it. The number of 2-year-old races in the country is set to increase markedly. Last year there was only 82 individual 2-year-old races. Next year the number will skyrocket to around 139. The reason for this is from January 1, 2024, it's been decided that 2-year-olds will only race against their own age group. They will not be able to enter rating races. Okay, both HRNZ and Entain will conduct a review of this 2-year-old only decision in June, July next year to determine the effectiveness and the viability. Races will be run as long as there is a minimum of 5 runners, so all 2-year-olds must be qualified before they can race, and to ensure owners and breeders have the best chance to get a quick return, Entain and HRNZ have decided to front load the schedule with more 2-year-old races for the first half of the season, and races will be held throughout the country from Auckland to Invercargill. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool news that for everyone in New Zealand and breeders. Nigel Fay works for Brecon Farms. They're great sponsors and supporters. Their name is up. Got to do it that way. Can't do it. It's very awkward to do, but that's their hat there. I've got a couple of shirts. Had the shirt on last week, but yeah, thought I'd better don the Woodlands green and make sure I get that part out there. So I think that's actually terrific. Some of the news this week, anyone wants to get in there and get involved with any of the news, please do. Robbie Morris bringing up 1900 winners Tuesday with American Spirit. Well done to him. Michelle Phillips bringing up 4 wins at Mildura, and then it was good to see she was actually clerk of the coursing the next day. I can't remember the name of the place, but Outback Galloping Place up that end. She stayed up there and went and done some galloping work. Cobram, here's a cool one. Didn't see this when it actually happened because I was doing my show. I actually was organised for once going forward on my show, but race 1 at Cobram was run and won by David Aikman with Twixton being by Trixton out of a Cold Sister, but Pesco Polo by Love You out of Cold Sister. So they Quinella the race. I reckon that's just really, really cool. And then one of the other ones, John Wayne, great name for a horse. Maxie wants to play Our Cheeky Devil. Akey got a double. There he is. Son of a Shark by Lenny the Shark, who's actually standing at Torello next year. Kevin Gordon, hello to you, Kevin. Yep, so just a odd little one that I just sort of found the fun side of, I must say, and really did enjoy it. So the Dubbo Stallion Tender Volstead will be back this year, standing at in New South Wales at Euroby Farm. So a little bit of news that people wouldn't have known about. I've got some stuff for the Kiwis coming up very shortly. There's quite a bit of New Zealand news. Harasta Trotters actually bred 3 of the Vic Bred Super Series winners over the weekend. There was 6 trots and they bred 3 of those, so they sponsored the series as well, so well done to those guys. And I have got there it is there, the Harasta Trotters Stallion Russell with EL Titan. He's actually in New Zealand at the minute. He gets to Australian shores, he's in quarantine, but he gets to Australian shores on the 26th, 27th, depending on flights. And he'll stand alongside On a Streak. Classic Connections going to Queensland. He'll be standing in Queensland for his first season at Somerset Farms. Used to Me, Always Ready here in Victoria at Kadina at Harasta Trotters. And On Solitaire is available in New Zealand only, but he is actually doing a good job. Then you have the frozen options. Eric Ekery D, Love You, Orlando Vici, Back of the Neck, Crazy Well, Tomoko, Bold Eagle, and Bird Parker. If you want to know any more about those, I've got a series coming out at the minute, HDT Stallion series, where we just talk about an individual stallion. This week we actually highlighted EL Titan. Anton Galino joined me and just went through what he's able to do, so make sure you give those a little bit of a follow as well. Actually, one I didn't mention with Hughes was Cabana, 2-year-old that won at Penrith. Go back and watch it last week. It was phenomenal how quickly it went when it let down. It's of course down by the seaside. I did this the other day. I don't mind trying different stuff. So I'm going to, hopefully this is going to work. Let's see where we're at. Yep. So I've got that ready to go. I'm just not going to show too much of it for the second. But runners, I've got to show it for now because otherwise you're not going to see where it is. That is it, third last in the yellow colours. Fitzpatrick colours there, as I said, down by the seaside. Just look at the speed this horse shows when it lets down. It rounds up this leader. The leader is out, I will say that, but this horse just rounds it up so quickly. And if you watch the Penrith track, anyone knows the Penrith track, that last turn can be tight and can be scary, daunting going into it. But yeah, ran to the front and running away from them, put them away. So very, very impressive. And I am 90% sure that was a debut, but I'd best make sure I check it. Oh no, it's had a few starts, 4 starts now. It brings up win number 2. It also won the consolation of the APG. So horse with a bit of a future, but a lot of speed out of a sports writer mare there in Cabana. Interesting name by Dion, by the seaside, out of Ambitious. Bred by the Whites. Now, I reckon that is Stacey White from Woodlands. I reckon that is her family. So, going through. Rightio. The next one I need to make sure that we do highlight, and they are racing there tonight. Might even have a look at theirs. Some of their results in a second. But go to the Swan Hill Stay and Tender. Go to Swan Hill Harness, Swan Hill Trotting Club, sorry. Click on the Stay and Tender banner and you can see the whole list of Stay and Tenders there. This closes on Friday, so make sure you're across that. All the races tonight at Swan Hill have been named after horses in the Stay and Tender. Not all of them, because I think there's 12 or 13 stallions and there's only 8 races tonight. But King of the North, What the Hill, Creatine, Lather Up, Vincent, Ride High, Dancing in the Dark M, Raging Bull, Tell All, Lenny the Shark, Sky Valley, Yankee Rockstar, Soho Lanakai, and Sundance Courage, all available. And as I said, the way the Stay and Tenders work, it is effectively at 70% of the advertised service fee price. So you have the opportunity to be able to purchase that there, and just looking at that, some terrific value there. Sundance Courage 1500, 1650 Soho Lanakai, Yankee Rockstar 1980, great start for a race at Moonee Valley. Sky Valley 2000, Lenny the Shark 2500, Tell All 2750, Raging Bull 3300, Dancing in the Dark M at 4400. For just under 4,950 for Ride High and Vincent, both for Alabar, 4,950 as well for Lather Up. So Lather Up, Vincent and Ride High, all similar prices. Creatine at 5.5, What the Hill at 7.7, and King of the North at 7.9. So make sure you go to the Swan Hill Trotting Club to get involved. With that, that's about it. I don't have too much else. It's been a pretty big show. I want people to be aware of Bendigo. Oh no, I have heaps more. Sorry. Actually, some highlights for New Zealand, for some of the things going on in New Zealand at the minute. Karen Tomlinson brought up her 100th win the other day, so well done to her. It's a big effort over there, and it's a big effort to win 100 races anywhere. Some of us have won over 100. But we won't go there. She brought up that there last week, so congratulations to Karen. Great result for her. I got thrown out a bit with the Kiwis because they actually did that. Cran and Chrissy Dalgety also trained their 100th winner as a partnership, I believe. With it being Blue September over there, they've got this initiative, and I found this out yesterday doing over the ditch. Blue September at Mutukorara. You can win a ride in a dual sulky race at with one of the Canterbury Blue September ambassadors. So any of the ambassadors, and I'll put their names up in a sec. All you have to do, we've got to be there at Mutukorara home of Cam Bray. He was the president there. I don't know if he is anymore. Someone might be able to tell me, but he definitely was, Mucha Carrara. The Blue Bolt, and effectively what it is you can get involved. You pick your ambassador. So one of your ambassadors, I think you pick which one you think will win, and then the winner will get drawn out of the bucket. Whoever wins gets drawn out of a bucket, and they get the double-seater sulky race, which is just something different. Blair Orange, Zach Butcher, Matty Williamson, Johnny Cox, Todd Mitchell, Nathan Williamson, Corbin Newman, Robbie Close, Mark Hurrell, Matty White and Rory McKillick. Now, I purposely left Dylan Ferguson out because there is actually also a drive on the day. Dylan will not be going there, but those other drivers, effectively, the Blue Bolt is a running race. So you can pick the drivers out. Now, a little bit of fun, and I think it's great that they're going to actually do this as well. A bit of fun. They'll be running in tutus, tights. I think there's some going to have fairy wings and a few other things going on. So it's really, really cool. Something different, trying something different, and getting the message out there for Blue September. And they've done an amazing job. I think they've raised so far, what did I say? It was 15,500 for Blue, Team Blue. This is the 12 junior drivers have been selected to go in the Junior Drivers Championships, which will culminate in a race over the Cup Carnival week. Ben Hope, Kieran Tomlinson, after driving her 100th, Wilson House, son of Michael, Sam Thornley, Crystal Hackett, Sarah O'Reilly, Zev Meredith, Gemma Thornley, Carter Delgetti, Alicia Harrison, Corbin Newman, and Tom Nelly all made the final 12. So well done to those guys, and they will be partaking in the Junior Drivers Series. We'll be down at Kaikoura as well. So yeah, I'm tipping they'll have a fair bit of fun going on down there. Don't forget as well those that's the YouTube channels too. So if you've missed them before, Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is the one you want to watch for the Little Brown Jug, and Jugette Day is tomorrow. This filly here is a filly that I want to highlight. Second last there in the Regan Todd colours. Craig Ferguson takes the drive. This is a filly called Treacherous Gal. It might pay for a few Australians to start watching this filly. She is second last. This is a pretty impressive win. She's a daughter of Captain Treacherous. It's very wet conditions here. This is at Oamaru on Sunday. Just trying to bring up the race. I think it was that one there. No, it might have been this. No, that was a trot race here. You can still see she's second last there. Yeah, it was a heat of the Neville 3-year-old fillies race, that's right. She beats home Artie by the Seaside, who gets to the front now for the Telfers, and Timmy Williams, and then Advanced Party getting to third. But barnstorming finish, really, really high-class filly that is there. She's now had, wait for it to refresh, it wasn't even working before, it would have been in all sorts of trouble. 13 starts, 7 wins, and 3 thirds. She's been chasing home Millwood Nike quite regularly. She won the Southland, is it, Oaks, while I was down there at Invercargill. Southern Oaks. She won the Southern Oaks, sponsored by Macca Lodge. Look forward to catching up with Macca as well, going through very soon. But yeah, she suffered a couple of defeats to Sweet Diamond, and then Millwood Nike, is, of course, and a lot of horses have been chasing Millwood Nike. So she's, I believe, with Millwood Nike not travelling to Australia, this mare is going to be coming across here, and she's a very, very exciting mare. She's a 3-year-old filly. So, yep, look forward to seeing Regan Todd. Anyone that knows Regan knows he enjoys a good time and has a little bit of fun as well. So, pretty exciting going forward. Rightio, Brad Williamson. Hello to you, Brady. You just gave a bit of a rap for you, mate. Doing a good job as a Blue Ambassador as well, is young Brad going forward. So, catch up with him very shortly when I get back over there as well. And they win a lot of races over there. That's about it. Pretty big week. There was a lot of Group 1 racing last Saturday night at Melton. That's been done over, and plenty of other news happening around the place. There's some nice races coming up this weekend. But officially, I'd like to say good night. Thank you for joining me on Loose Lines, and I look forward to catching up with you guys all next week. Actually, may not be here next week. Not sure if the show will be live. Got a few things going on with the daughter, so stay tuned. It may not be here next week. We might have to wait for a week later. But yep, thank you for joining in. Thanks to Mark Hughes, Timmy Ralph. Make sure you get behind both of those, and really do appreciate people tuning in and being a part of the show. It makes the show a lot better. So thank you guys. See you next week.